What's going on, everybody? Billy Rains here, and in today's video we're going to be doing another list video. This time it's going to be a little bit different though. Usually we rank these 1 through 10 or 10 through 1, whichever way you want to look at it, and then we kind of go through them that way. This list is a little different. It was put out by FreightWaves. As always, there'll be a link to this list or the article that leads to this list. It'll be down below in the description. This one's going to be a little different, though. It's only 7 companies, and they basically have categories like best home time, best for OTR, best for owner-operators, that kind of thing. That's kind of how they worded the list out. Like I always say, this isn't my list. This is a list I found, and I'm linking it down below. So if you have a problem with the list because maybe your company's not on here or because your company's way better than these companies, let me know down in the comments down below, like what company you're at and how it is way better than these. Maybe I can look into that or try to find a list with that company on it and put that out. But without further ado, let's get into this list. First up on the list is best for home time, which is going to be Fraley and Schilling. And the reason they say they're best for home time is because 98% of their drivers get home on the weekend. On top of that, they give you paid time off. There are a few requirements. You need 6 months of experience. You need your tanker endorsement. And you also need flatbed securement training. Next up on the list is best for drayage drivers. And look, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like when I read this list off that I even knew what drayage was. So you may be asking yourself, well, what is drayage? Well, Billy, I'm glad you asked this. Drayage is the work or cost of hauling freight by the dray. Okay. I get that, Professor Billy. But, for some of the less informed out there, what exactly, I know, I'm just making sure, for everybody else here that doesn't know, while we have a professor like yourself that can answer this, for these people, what is a dray? Well, Billy, a dray, well, that would be a cart without sides. Don't worry about it, Billy, I got you. I'm a big-time truck driver. Anyway, drayage is, you ever seen them truck yards out there with the special little trailers where they put the Connex unit on top of it and then they haul it around? That would be a drayage or trailer without sides. They just put the Connex on top of it. That's what they're talking about. Yeah, sorry, man. That professor guy, he's a little confusing. Thanks, big-time truck driver. Anyway, I hope you guys had a little fun with that. But like I said, best for drayage drivers is going to be Gulf Winds International. And their only requirement is that you have 1 year experience with a relatively clean driving record. Most of these gigs with the drayage, these pulling out of rail yards or out of ports and stuff, these jobs are mostly local. So the third category is going to be best for drivers only, and this is going to be GP Transco. And the reason they say it's the best for drivers only is because they have no driver load or unload freight. It's mostly dropping hooks from what I understand. You're going to collect, for every 5 days you work, you're going to get 2 days of off time. And the only real requirement for GP Transco is you need to have 12 months in the last 10 years. Also, GP Transco reached out to me in my last video, and they pointed out that there's been a update to the list that I put out last week. So next week, we're going to put up an updated list of top paying companies. Little spoiler alert, GP Transco was number 1 on that list. The next category is going to be best for owner operators, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of debate on this one. And if you want to suggest a different company, you can down below in the comment section. I'll check them out. But I think what they meant was best owner operator company if you're based out of Florida and you kind of want to get into owning a truck kind of thing, because they do 70% of gross. One thing that was cool is they said that all their dispatchers are former owner-operators. Another thing was like you need 12 months of experience in the last 36 months. They were listing their salary as $200,000 to like $275,000. So take all this information with a grain of salt. With all these companies, do your own research. These are usually sponsored lists, and it's just information that they get from the companies, I'm sure. So just do your due diligence. So the fifth category is going to be the best for OTR drivers, and that is going to be Holland Enterprises. And the reason they say that is because after 2 years, your benefits are fully paid by the company. Also, it's 100% no-touch freight. Also, they have new equipment. The only requirements are, and this is why I say best for OTR companies, is because they are going to expect you to stay out 3 weeks at a time. You're going to have to be 23 years old, and you kind of need to have 2 years of experience. Next up on the list is going to be best for driver support, and that's going to be Real Trucking. And the only requirements for this place, I think, is like a year of experience with a clean record. And the reason they listed them as the best for driver support was 24/7 hour professional dispatchers on call. All right, so this is going to be the last entry on the list. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to the video, like it, hit the little bell. Like I said, next week we're coming out with an updated pay video. And the last entry is best for new drivers. And when I read this, guys, I was kind of like, what? Because out of all the companies that I think of when I think of like where should you go when you have a new, like when you're a new driver, this would never comes up. But apparently FedEx is the best company for new drivers, according to this, because apparently they have a driver apprentice program, which kind of sounds like maybe you can go and learn how to drive a truck and start out with FedEx, which sounds pretty cool. I mean, if it's not for that, you need a year of experience. So I didn't really understand this one.